And we're back. We're coming at you live from the Robarts Arena in Sarasota, Florida, being brought to us by Perfect Events, Sarasota BMW, USANA, and a basket case. I'm joined with Carl King and Sal Cenicola. And as we're getting ready for our third fight of the evening, it's the big guys. We've got Daniel Martz going up against Grover Young in a heavyweight matchup that's scheduled for 8 rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Robarts Arena in Sarasota, Florida, our next bout of the evening brought to you by PerfectEnergySports.com and Just a Basket Case. Scheduled for 8 rounds of professional boxing in the heavyweight division. Your judges scoring at ringside are Brian Gary, Jed O'Connor, and Mike Ross. Your referee in charge of the action, James Waring. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing gold trunks with black trim. He weighed in at 252 pounds. A veteran of 26 professional bouts from Memphis, Tennessee. Here is Grover, the Cobra Young. His opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks. He weighed in at 230 pounds. His professional record, 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 9 wins by way of knockout. From Clarksburg, West Virginia, here is Daniel, the Mountain Martz.
As the referee gives these guys the finals instructions, we've got Daniel Martz, who's moving up in the heavyweight rankings, going up against a tough guy in Grover Young. Grover Young is actually coming off of an upset knockout win over a guy just as big as Daniel Martz, Carl. And he's hoping to do the same thing today. A couple of problems with him on the way to the arena. He didn't have his trunks, he didn't have his shoes, he didn't have anything. You know, we had to get all of that stuff for him. Daniel Martz is it's an important fight for him. He needs a big win in a big way.
Well, Grover Young doesn't appear to me to be, he doesn't look as dedicated as he probably should be. I think he can lose a few pounds. Martz looks like the taller, the bigger, the more athletic guy, but you never know. When you're in with a southpaw, as Young is, a southpaw, everything's a little different. So we'll see how it turns out.
The only thing is Daniel Martz is from that West Virginia circuit, so sometimes you can't go by the wins. He had no amateur career. As we see him starting out, he seems a little crude, the way he's delivering his punches, you know, and you know, and I'm not saying that Grover Young is no you know, Mike Tyson, but you know, the way he's delivering his punches, Daniel Martz I'm talking about. He's got to be careful here.
These guys don't remind me of anybody. Let me just go on record today and say this fight. None of these guys remind me of anybody.
You're
I've
right.
seen, okay?
You're right.
Martz is just a tall, big guy. You got to be concerned when you come from the West Virginia circuit, though.
You're absolutely right.
And you can build a record and build a fairly decent record, and not really have the skills to back it up.
Well, he's not. He doesn't have a regular trainer. He's young. He's in his early 20s.
He looks fit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he looks like he's got that farm strength, though.
You know, if you can get Grover Young to
give him some pounds,
or trim down and dedicate himself a little more in training, he might just be. I mean, he looks like he's not scared. He's a southpaw. He's a shorter southpaw, which is slightly different from a lot of guys other than Chris Bird. But you know, you're looking at these guys. Martz should be on the outside. He's not, and if he doesn't get on the outside and use his range, he won't fare too well.
Let's face it, Sal. Grover Young should be a light heavyweight. You know, he obviously doesn't want to put in the time in the gym, and he decided to be a heavyweight. He claims he's got more punching power at this weight and all the rest of it, but he is throwing the punches with more power, it seems to me, behind his punches than behind Daniel Martz.
He's 252 pounds.
Wow.
And he's, what, 4'7". I mean, you got to look at this guy, and you just don't know. I mean, come on. Martz is a big man. He's tall. He's about 230 something. You know.
Yeah, but he's holding his chin out there. He's got no defense. He's got no legs.
No. And he's not punching with his body.
No, he's not. He barely is punching with his full arms.
So a guy like that's in trouble. You know what I mean?
A jab. He actually snapped a jab, I saw.
If it's just a matter of whether or not he can go 4 rounds or so, or 8 rounds without getting caught. I don't know. He's not showing the skill set that needs to be demonstrated when you're fighting a short opponent. First of all, a southpaw. I don't know how many southpaws this kid's fought in the past.
There's the Bellis end of round 1, and again, Sal, it seems that these fighters are not utilizing their own strengths. Daniel Martz is a bigger guy with longer reach, and like Carl was alluding to, you don't know if Grover Young is got punching power or not. He should be using the ring, using his arms, using his movement, fighting smart. He's fighting like exactly what we were saying. He's from the West Virginia circuit, and he's never really been in with a real fighter, it seems.
Well, Billy, you're right there, and it's a shame. I don't know what kind of schooling or what kind of training on this level that these guys are getting, because it looks like they're off balance. They're not looking to use any skills as far as blocking punches, slipping punches, or being in a position to deliver a punch.
But
I think that's the most important thing you just said. He's not even in. Daniel Martz isn't even putting himself in a position to deliver a punch.
Well, look, all you have to do. I love Sal's point about the trainers. Because all you need is a towel to be a trainer.
Exactly.
Throw the towel over your shoulder.
No, but that's the problem with the business of the sport as we start the second round. And again, Martz looks like he is listening. Now I have solid left hand puts Martz right down, and he's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
He's in some
bad trouble. He's in trouble.
When you can't stand up like that. And I would think that the referee is going to stop it here, and he does.
He does.
One shot ends the night for Daniel Martz, and what a dangerous opponent Grover Young can be. We'll see if we can get that replay to see that punch as we get ready here. Daniel Martz seems like he's okay now. He's being looked at with the doctors, but what a shot. Put him in trouble right down. And then he did get back to his feet, but I thought the referee made the right call.
He had to. Now that reminded me of Trevor Berbick when he fought Mike Tyson.
Right. You mean Trevor Berbick doing the Billy C shuffle after 20 scotches? Trevor
Berbick, God rest his soul. I love Trevor. I managed Trevor, and he was a great guy, but not that night.
No. Well, that was the equilibrium shot. He tried to get up. This rocked this kid. You can still see it in his eyes. They're a little glassed over.
And look at the trainer, man. Come on.
Well, that trainer isn't his real trainer. That's he's actually a good trainer.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the best Tampa has to offer. This
Tampa?
Yes, Daniel Martz came to this fight with no trainer. He came to this fight with no. Here we got the replay. Whoa! What a nice overhand left. But there's
right on the chin.
It's what we were talking about earlier. This was a guy that does not have his hands up.
He was off balance. His feet were together. He was square.
But what I'm saying is, here it is again. Boom. His hands were not even protecting his face. This is lack of teachers. This is a lack of a trainer that taught this guy anything in West Virginia. No, Nino was a fill-in trainer. He was hired tonight for this fight. So what a beautiful knockout. It's interesting to see what's going to happen.
Nino couldn't have done anything about that. That straight left hand came right over the top, perfectly timed, right on the money. And 252 pounds of body weight landed on that chin, and it's a wrap.
Well, this is why I always say on my show that boxing needs more teachers. And you were right when you were saying to Sal earlier, Carl, all you need is a towel, and you're a trainer. And I make this comment to Larry Hazard all the time on my show that, unfortunately, to be a trainer in the sport of boxing, all you got to do is pay the $25 license fee, poof, you're the main trainer of the night, and you might not know a left hook from a fish hook, and this is what the end result is.
And that burns me up. This guy comes in a ring. He's a professional. He comes in a ring. He's off balance. He's standing squared. He doesn't even have his hands up, his elbows in. He's not schooled fundamentally on the basics, and it shows.
No, there's no fundamentally. He's definitely not fundamentally sound. But worse than that, he puts himself in harm's way to get hurt. Let's go up to the ring announcer, Bob Alexander, to get the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Robarts Arena in Sarasota, Florida, your referee in charge, James Waring, calls a halt to the bout at 21 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by TKO, Grover the Cobra Young.
Well, Grover Young comes out of here with an upset win. He clearly, wasn't expected to win this fight. And we have this guy who traveled pretty far to get here, virtually no sleep, came up and came out of here with a win. So, hey, listen, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we have our co-main event, Aaron Jacko against Frankie Filippone for the vacant World Boxing Federation North American Super Middleweight title. We'll be back in 2.
Look forward to that.